Hi everyone, Kelly Fisher here from Wildflower Yoga. And this is the first in a series of self-care for social distancing. I thought I'd offer some meditation guidelines. So if you're interested in beginning a meditation practice, or even if you've been practicing in the past, here are just a few things to keep in mind to support your practice. So the first one is to make a space for yourself, some personal space in your own home. You know, it could be in the corner of your bedroom, or maybe you have a whole room to yourself, like this is my yoga space here. And you want to make yourself comfortable and inviting. So I've got some yoga blankets on the side over here. I'm actually sitting on a folded blanket myself, and I brought a few friends along. So we have Ganesha. He is the beloved remover of obstacles and guardian of thresholds. And Princess Leia. No yoga space is complete without this heroine. And Betty Boop, and she is in her best lotus posture here. And we even brought John Lennon along for extra inspiration. He's certainly quite the mythological deity himself. So you want to have a particular space in your home, and again, make it comfortable. I even have a candle. Lemongrass and sage, lovely. So your own space. And then the second thing to keep in mind is to set up a routine if you possibly can. Like we do a little bit today, and then we do a little bit tomorrow, and a little bit the next day. And then, you know, little by little, over and over again, we develop this habit, and you bring your body and your mind into a sense of routine. If you meditate at a particular time during the day, try to make it at the same time every day. And a good time would be before breakfast or even before dinner. So that way your stomach is empty and the body is relatively settled. And if you practice at the same time every day over and over, again, I mentioned, it does develop a routine, and that way your body and even your mind knows, okay, well, now it's time to meditate. During that time of day, let the people that you live with know that this is your time and you don't want to be disturbed. So that way they'll leave you alone, and even set your phone to silent so there aren't any external distractions. All right, another tip would be to set an intention when you have your space, when you have your time of day that you're going to practice. Then when you come to sit, set an intention to sit for as long as you want to. Could be 5 minutes, could be 15 minutes, could be 30 minutes. So it's up to you, whatever amount of time that you feel you can handle and that you'll do on a regular basis. When you sit to do your meditation practice, consciously tell yourself, today or right now, I will sit for 5 minutes. And that prepares your whole body, mind, heart structure to know that you're going to sit in stillness for those amount of minutes, that amount of time. So when you sit, you want to make sure that you're comfortable. I showed you, I have my folded yoga blanket here. Generally speaking, if you're going to cross your legs, or I was in Siddhasana, the powerful pose, you want your knees at or below the level of your hip creases. So sometimes that means sitting up higher. You can take another blanket and fold it over. And it doesn't have to be a yoga blanket. I mean, use what you've got. If you have a pillow at home, you can do that. And you just want to sit up nice and tall. When the knees are at or below the level of the hip crest, it supports the length of the spine. And when your spine is free, breath flows more easily, it flows effortlessly, and it just helps you settle into that quiet space of silence a little easier. So make sure that you're comfortable when you sit for your practice, and likewise, you know, if a leg falls asleep, give yourself permission to just stretch it out. You know, you don't have to remain rigidly still for your whole practice. Give yourself room to just be and experience. You know, if your leg is falling asleep and it's causing pain, your mind is going to be distracted anyway. So so stretch your leg if there's an issue there, or otherwise just adjust. And that reminds me too, you don't have to sit when you're meditating. You could lie down, but the issue there is, are you going to fall asleep? So generally speaking, if you're sitting upright and the spine is free, like you're not leaning against the wall or anything, that allows the flow of prana to move more fully. So lying down is okay, but just make sure you don't fall asleep. All right. And then finally, to keep in mind as far as meditation guidelines, just know that there's no right or wrong to meditation. It's your own experience. So own that experience. Make the practice your own. Do what is comfortable for you. Do what makes you happy, because if it makes you happy, then you'll keep coming back. Now, you can meditate in different ways. When you're sitting in stillness, you can simply listen to the sounds in the room, sounds outside the room, any sounds that you might hear. Or you could pay attention to sensations, like perhaps the air on your skin, or how your clothing feels on your skin, or, you know, bodily sensations. There's a sense of groundedness through hips and legs. There's a sense of length in the spine. When the collarbones lift, the breathing space is open. So being aware of sensations is another way to practice. Another way to practice would be to observe the breath. Generally, we want to inhale and exhale through your nose. It has a more calming effect for the body. It helps us connect to the parasympathetic system versus breathing through the mouth. And the nose also filters the air and it warms the air. So the breath becomes more inviting to the body if you're breathing through your nostrils. Another way to practice would be to witness your thoughts without engaging with them. Just notice when a thought arises and then allow the thought to subside. It's just like a wave on the ocean or a gentle ripple in a lake. So you can observe your thoughts in that way. But really, the important thing is to relax. There's no need to make a judgment about how your practice should be or what you should not be doing. Allow yourself to soften. Be kind to yourself, because often when we sit down, like the first thing that happens is we notice that inner voice, and quite often that inner voice is pretty critical. So when you start talking to yourself and you're saying certain things or making judgments about yourself, in that moment, ask yourself, is that how I would speak to my friend? And if the answer is no, then stop. So be kind to yourself, relax, soften. These moments of silence become really precious. They're just moments where you simply be and you allow yourself to experience the stillness of the self. It's quite profound. So those are some guidelines. I hope they're helpful, and check out the meditations as they come up soon. Thank you.